Okay, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So for today's video, it's UK councils, and many of them are actually on the brink of collapse. You think I'm joking? Your council may not survive next year, but nobody's warning you. So stick around, I'm going to show you how this collapse could hit your daily life and hit it hard. So it was no secret that last year there were 5 UK councils that officially ran out of money, one of them being Birmingham. Services were slashed and, as I said, many councils are already effectively bankrupt. This is after the jobs crisis and the immigration crisis and the cost of living crisis. This is the next big crisis. So at the end of this video, you'll understand why your bins aren't being collected, why your parks are falling apart or just being taken away, why council tax is still going up anyway. And if you think this is bad, wait until you hear what skilled workers are doing in response. They're getting out. So Section 114 notices, councils like Birmingham, like Thurrock, Croydon, they've all issued bankruptcy declarations despite hiking their council taxes and still taking money off their constituents. Adult and children's services have been hit really hard. They've had massive cuts. Core social services across the board are being slashed just so these ineffective, archaic governing councils can stay afloat. But despite all of this, in the UK, across the board, some regions worse than others, but we've had massive council tax hikes. Usually at the minimum, they go up 4.5%. The maximum is meant to be 4.99 or 5 in some places. And there were councils that tried to put up their council taxes 25%. 25%. I think the highest that they got away with was 15, but that is still ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Councils are raising taxes above inflation, well above inflation, but still they can't balance their budgets. It's ineffective across the board. It doesn't work. There are rising debt repayments. Councils basically borrowed heavily in the last decade, too heavily, and now repayments need to be made, and this is what's suffocating budgets. We've got privatised services that are now failing. So many councils outsourced contracts, and these contracts are now collapsing. And this now leaves councils scrambling to work out what to do next. Nobody else wants to take on a failing business, and the councils can't afford to take it back. It's not a good situation. And this has a massive impact on daily life. It means that you get less bin collections. It means that your libraries are operating fewer opening hours or just closing altogether. It means that your roads are ridden with potholes, and I mean ridden. If you walk around my area, walk around North Devon, anywhere around Bideford, Barnstable, Ilfracombe, it's awful. There are more holes than there are roads. And of course, you've got delays in things like social care, things like adult care, child care, social services. All of these areas are being hit at their detriment. So what's next? Well, certainly more bankruptcies are expected in 2025, and this is going to widen as the funding gaps undoubtedly get bigger. These bankruptcies are going to increase, and they're going to increase into next year. And what's the betting? That next year, due to the influx of all the engineers and doctors that we've got coming over on the boats, that our council taxes go up again to the maximum or even beyond the maximum, because let's face it, we're paying for it. The council are quick to outsource and do backhand deals with hotel owners to put these people up. But it's me, it's you, it's the taxpayer, it's Joe average public that are basically paying for something that we firmly don't support. I don't think I've actually spoken to anybody on my DMs, certainly not spoken to anybody face to face, that supports really anything that this government or the last government did in terms of immigration in terms of council tax provision of funds. Now, it can't be denied that when you look at the breakdown of your council taxes, a certain amount of that goes to the police, a certain amount of that goes to the fire service. And I think you'd be a fool if you argued that that was a necessary evil. And I absolutely don't mind funding the police as long as it's used correctly. No issue at all funding the fire service, again, as long as it's used correctly. And to an extent, I've no issue funding the adult social care. But that should be UK resident adult social care. UK people with UK problems. I'm not up for funding hotels with people that I don't think should be here, that came over illegally, that aren't putting into the system, and are making £500 to £1,000 a week working for Deliveroo on the side and not paying tax. It's all a bit of a joke. And I think it's broken down at a systemic level. It's broken down at a local government level. Certainly there are errors being made. There are budgets definitely being misappropriated. But also it's been broken for a long time at a larger governmental level, at a parliamentary level, where things are just skirted over, whether it's grooming gangs, whether it's immigration, whether it's sending money abroad for proxy wars that nobody agrees with. All of it, it all seems very contrite. It seems ridiculous that we, the British public, are being asked to constantly dig into our pockets to pay more, to pay above, when hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, and I'm sure millions of people in the UK are living hand to mouth, are struggling day to day, and are working themselves probably into early graves, not even early retirement, but early graves, to fund mismanagement of these resources. So what are your thoughts on this? I'm sure this will set the comment section on fire. I mean, you know my views. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear how this is affecting you and what you think. Drop it in the comments and let me know. So look, YouTube's going to put another video there. I'm going to go away and have a little cry because it is, as you can see, a very shiny, hot day. And yeah, like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. More tomorrow. Goldman. Peace out.